respected chairman of Horua Welfare Society, the secretary of Horua Welfare Society, the members of the society, chairman village council Indisen, Ganburas, friends who are here, and especially the participating teams. Out of 6, I learned Hirupema and Changtungya is going to meet now, which will be played shortly. In fact, the other day when I was approached by the secretary and members of the society to be the special guest for tonight's this concluding function, I initially declined the offer. In fact, I was trying to decline the offer, but then on the insisting, eventually I decided to be here, so I'm here. But before I share with you my own experiences, the little that I know of sports, I congratulate all of you and commend on your spirit, especially considering that the last 2 days, the 7th and the 8th, because of very inclement weather, I'm sure it must have been a very, very Herculean kind of a task for all of you, whether it's especially the organizers, the participating teams, to be playing in almost a slush kind of a condition. Yet, fortunately, at least tonight, though a little late, yet seeing the enthusiasm is very, very encouraging, and it's much better off compared to the last 2 days, and I look forward to a very, very exciting match, the final match. As all of us, being quite late in the evening, are eagerly awaiting to watch the match, I'll just take a brief, I won't take much time, but sharing a few experiences about sports. When I was a kid, that was way back in '60, I think there are very few amongst us who belong to my age. And then we were NIFA from just about 4.5 years old, I think I was. We came to our village Chanki, and then when we were there for about 3 months, good old 60, the first experience one had about football was, the football wrapped, by rolling up newspaper, and then with rope, and then playing. Then a little heavier scale was the Pamelo, the big orange, that was used as a football. And then it was being played with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of interest, everywhere in the village, in those small kind of playing area that was available. Being almost all the traditional Naga villages being in very rugged terrain, very little space for a regular football ground. So in the little space available, that used to be very commonly played. Another sport which was very, very common was volleyball. And the third one was a sport known as teniquet, also known as ring tennis. One don't see those games being played now, especially teniquet, but volleyball, it was very popular those days. Why volleyball? Because of the space availability, plus the interest that all of us, Nagas, inborn interest we have in sports. So that's how popular it was in the 60s. Sometime around the mid-60s, coincidentally, I believe Changtungya was also one of the teams that's going to play the finals. One heard about Changtungya volleyball team sometime in the mid-60s. It was very popular those days. And then after that, mid-60s, 70s, 80s, somehow one hardly used to hear about tournaments being organized, but it's been about a decade and a half now. I think these volleyball tournaments are very, very common. Lately, there has been about 3-4 tournaments, and I think this is the 4th, 5th that's being held here. The 3rd edition that's organized by this society, Horua Welfare Society. So that shows the tradition Changtungya has kept up. I'm not being biased in favor of Changtungya. Please don't mistake me for that. But I'm sharing my own experiences, which is very encouraging. Now, when we talk about sports in our state, what we see is, in fact, especially in the 80s and the 90s, one was at Kohima. Now, on Sundays or Saturdays when traffics were much lesser those days, a small strip of roadside boys would convert that into a cricket pitch where they would be playing cricket. And in another very common sight was the backboard of a basketball. Only one slightly wider area of a road turning. There the boys, 2-3 boys will be practicing basketball. Cricket being played on a stretch of road. That was a scenario in our state. In fact, it used to burn one's, it used to hurt one's feelings. Seeing the excitement, the interest, yet the infrastructure which were available was only those. Yet, what was encouraging was the interest they had shown, especially those boys of that age, despite the handicap. They were playing basketball, cricket that way. Now we all know how wide a ground we require for a regular cricket match. That was a scenario maybe just about a decade ago. I don't know how much improved we are today, but the fact is, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, it is the individual effort. Now, it was sometime in '60 that I had seen that common sight of improvised wrapped newspaper shaped into a ball and then being played. We all know of Dr. Tiao. Dr. Tiao, in his biography, sometime in the 30s, I think it was the mid-30s, when studying in Dimapur, before going to Jorhat and onwards to Guwahati and Kolkata, etc., Dr. Tiao and his fellow players used the same contraption, either a pamelo or a newspaper wrapped into an improvised ball. That's how they used to play in the Dimapur playing ground. And then how steadily he had risen to be the captain of the Indian Olympic football team in 1948. The inspiration is just with us. He's one amongst us who's no more. We all know him, we all honor him. Despite that handicap, the likes of Dr. Tiao could overcome and rise to be an international star. Likewise, I call upon your determination. Whether it's volleyball, football, any sporting event, it is the individual interest. How you pursue it. That is my challenge to all of you. Now, the other observation that I had made over the years was when we Nagas, especially in the 70s and the 80s, I'm talking about the period of Nagas, when a team wins, we celebrate by imbibing alcohol. Jiti se, khushi paya se, mudu khabo. Likewise, Haria team bhi moon bikha do, round group karne, idu bhi mudu khabo. I mean, that used to be the way of life. I hope it's not so today, but that's how carefree we are. In sports, we require a lot of discipline. I have had the privilege of studying in many schools. I had been to Manipur, Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Odisha, etc., including Telangana and Hyderabad after joining service. Now with all those schools, college, training centers and all, there used to be huge, being all flat land, huge ground, hockey ground, basketball, football, etc., including cricket ground in some of those.
Viewers, amekhala samne de Changtungya laga player tahan du final de kirpi mahan lo de KRP ma team khan lo di khilu lese to tang la player ami la samne dai ne se tagi bi tang la ga idu journey do experience kina se tang gi ba la puta tagi ba la puta di kuso so first of all thank you brother apna time jagare to apna la team do idu tournament de aji first time aina participate kurisna every year na participate korna
one every year I participate kura je
to apna idu tournament de tough team khan bishi thakibo holi bi apna idu tange harai gina into final day jad apna team kina lagis
okay this year do team 6 tagise to team sob team bali tagise lebi monwe ni tikpa prepare kori naise do itia olobichi de final clip la je kerfima koi magan logot do monbe ido paradak tikpa kilina chiti boli kosis kro
to kota apna la team ita idu finally jidishe gule do apna into cash prize to apna la team do ki di use ko listen le ki ko listen
okay moando changdungya volleyball association do moando idu kan inia hotai sob jaga di idu kilina pirai na to mugan idu chitya do cash prize kan do mon next tournament karne ni rakhibo inia step by step chai
sa to idu tournament do next year be organize ko shule apna la team do aina participate korna no
yes I will yeah
so to in regards to volleyball upcoming volleyball players can get nelwe amya la youth can get message ekta convey kodu paro
okay ajikali any sports killa do le sob de balaje nicho la life di discipline number 1 aro any kiba timing punctuality kan diulwe sob de any sports killa garni itu kan sob control kori pare to bacha nule youngster kan bi achali pishi ulaya je bal kan to give up nagori na any montik pa khilina practice kori dageli do amnian bi aro tangor chai jawo do amnian bi sob mondina practice kori dageli
viewers amekhala samne de KRP ma laga team tahan chongtung ya logo de final match khilu lese to ide KRP ma khan la player bi ekta amya la samne de ne se tahan gibi hudia hudi kursabo tahan do aji laga tournament de ina final de jal tang la experience bi kina ase itwan ala hudia hudi kursabo so first of all thank you brother apna time jagane to apni koi do paro itu tournament de apna la team ina aina participate kora do aji first time is na ini every year aina participate korege
this is our second time na idu pula lawe ek par aise and then idu covid agena this time our second time aya jame kana
to apna andu itia alag team khan lo de inaga khili gena pari gena the final day jad apna la experience to kina thak selap koi do
and then from the start to the beginning para and ahado it was really a tough thagise match kan do sob idu sob isor la blessing karne ase ami kan ene khilena ha do ami kan lokra kan sob tough team thagise aru experience to phal ase
to amyan sob manu jane chongtungya team do ekta apnan bi khio paranisna ekta tough team ase to apnan itahan lo de final match khilu lise to apna la team bi kina preparation to kina kurisna
changtonya volleyball association to bishi tough ase sob renowned club ase they are a renowned club aru bishi tough ase aru mo khan bi ene idia final tak punja to ami kan bi idia ta khan lo de kilo la do mi khan bi ida mi khan ke we are trying our best mo khan bi preparation to bishi pal kore ase ami khan bi we are hoping for the best
so to apnan itu tournament de apnan jidishe gule do nelbi itu tournament de apnan parishe gule do idu apnan ki kurles apnan future plan nelbi itu cash prize apnan ki kurles apnan team
idu ami khan la team do ekta club ase Chingyano brothers group ma koina idu ami khan 2012 te shuru koriche ami khan la elders program para moi do junior ase ta khan lo junior ase olivi idu ko kole do ami khan tournament fund idu GTA khan do olop ene saving korina ami khan la further idu age aha khan kane ene saving do kori thake for sure olop ene ami khan bi ene loi thake ko holi mostly we mohan la future karne ene idu la babna para idu ami khan khilena idu paisa khan saving korna ami khan la junior youngster khan na youngster khan karne ami khan bi mostly idu prepare korna rakha thake
to kota apnan idu next year be idu tournament do organize kushiglu apnan la team do idu tournament de participate korna no koro
Of course, since the organizers are itu thakan bishi bhal bhal organize kore ase, so we are looking forward to it if God's plan.
तो इतु लगा ऊपर दे अपकमिंग वॉलीबॉल प्लेयर्स खान के नेली भी अपना ला कोलिग्स खान के नेली अपना फ्रेंड्स खान के एकता मैसेज कन्वे करो पारवा
Okay, volleyball खुशी पा मनु खान इदे इदे तो volleyball Nagaland de platform bishi bhal ola ase, idu manu bishi organize kore ase aru ko gole to volleyball to football Nagaland de football parai bishi bhal ola ase tournament khan na, so idu खुशी पा मनु खान ene just keep working na idu ene khili thakibe ene there is a good scope in volleyball for volleyball currently from my point of view idu itia Nagaland de na kinya tournament khan ula khan do ene bishi bhal ula ase, so keep working and work hard.
viewers ami han laga samne de sir tatung taidu Horua Welfare Society laga jintu aman Indisen Dimapur laga tai president ase aru tahan aji yede third all Nagaland open volleyball tournament organize kone ase, to tai itu laga opor de tai ki bala bhuda udi kurso chato sir aji laga tournament opor de ale koi do parbo ase.
Acha, thank you for coming. Mohan itu tournament Horua Welfare Society do kali volleyball ikla la no hai, mohan kam bishi kore. Horua mani do multiple connection attachment ina se meaning do, to itu para mohan kali different comes kore salbara around the year na, to itu volleyball do ekta part ase mohan la aro itu volleyball do ni main event is na ekta mohan around the year kore do aro itu karne itu para youth khan karne bi ni opportunity ekta create kore dili do koina itu la kiba bhavna do kore ase.
To sir apnan itu tournament do every year organize korna this same first time organize
Idu third edition ase aro mohan alternate years organize kore kile mohan bi do eko government help na ina kora noe nichor generate kore fund do, so every year do organize kore na pare holibi alternate years mohan organize kore na ase.
to sir apnan do khali idu volleyball tournament ekla organize korna ini alag events khan bi organize kore na sir.
Usually mohan welfare kam hi bishi work kore na, do tournament sports to khali itia tak to volleyball do ase aro dusra welfare kam khan busti da Indisen bitor ni kam kore ase, any all age can help kore quarantine covid time bi dunshina quarantine center khan bi help kore aro parele ni busti bitor rasta khan ki na na modo para jaka mohan kore na ari ase.
to sir aji laga tournament de ite tak ti kiman ta clubs khan neli bi kiman da busti ra aina participate kuris na sir.
This year laga very unfortunate mohan expect kora do 10 is na expect kore se dim do holibi schedule do olop tight ho jaise, Saturday ho jaise, Sunday lage do this year do mohan chuda team hi aina se.
So in regards to this, what message do you want to convey to the players or to our viewers or to the public?
Ekta message ni khata ekta ko munja do mohan ajikali sports to be main line dani bolage, itu bi ekta career korna mohan naga manuhan bishi wak sports to khali part time ni leisure karni khili ase na, to parile do mohan itu focus korna ni mohan career bonai na itu ra ni bishi kam koro motop koro le rasta bishi ase, to seriously luile to bishi bhal aro itu mohan encourage kore youth khan ki na any government job lule kam try pura do mohan pura do pawli to chance nai, so sports line dibi mohan korile to bari revenue aro nijor life which kore state pi do revenue ani bole labi rasta bishi ase.
Thank you, sir.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.